Hey, welcome back to Dan's Chess Lounge, everyone. Today I'm going to be bringing you a few traps and zaps out of the Bruce Pandolfini's book called Chess Openings, Traps and Zaps, Volume 2. And today we're going to be covering the Sicilian Defense, a few traps out of the Sicilian. That's an opening that I enjoy playing from either side. There's so many different variations to choose from, and it seems like regardless of what you choose, you're always going to get some type of tactical battle or some type of struggle that's going to allow you to have deep calculation and push your chess abilities to the limits. So I really like the Sicilian Defense. Let's go ahead and check out a few traps and see how they unfolded. E4, C5, Knight F3, D6, Bishop C4. Sometimes if you don't play Bishop C4 here, the main thing is to play, of course, D4, hoping to go into an open Sicilian after C captures D. But here in this game today, it was Bishop C4, and then you have Bishop G4, pinning the knight there to the queen. So if you're white here, what would you play? Go ahead and pause the video and try to come up with the best move here for white. Okay, I hope you found the solution here. The best response for white after black pins the knight there would be Bishop captures F7 check. And this is going after the unprotected bishop there on G4. It's indirectly going after it and just wins a pawn flat out for white. There's a couple different options that black can choose here. If black chooses to capture the bishop, then white would play knight G5 check, followed by capturing the bishop. So black has lost his castling rights. His king side has been torn open, and he's down a pawn. If black decides not to take the bishop and runs over to D7, he's still down a pawn, and he's lost his castling privileges as well. So it's just not a good position for black to be in. And so one of the things here is to go back when your opponent plays Bishop C4 or and vice versa, maybe Bishop C5 for black, eyeing the F2 squares and the F7 square. Whenever your opponents plays their bishops out to here, you have to be very, very careful of your moves because that's an easy square to sack your bishop on and to just target the weakened king side, the weakened king. A lot of people sack their pieces there, not even having a clear continuation. They just want to disrupt, the enemy king. A lot of times you'll see openings like this in Blitz and Bullet, just to get, their person out of their main repertoire and main opening. So you have to always keep an eye for your weak squares there, your weak squares on F2 and F7. So, all right, that was a very good trap there to keep in mind. Okay, so for this second line here, we're going to be looking at it from the black side. And let's see what happens here. We have E4, C5, start of the Sicilian, knight F3, D6. This time we have a G3 system. Okay, G3 systems are a little bit more reserved, a little bit more strategic. It's not quite an all-out war from the very, very start. Knight C6, Bishop G2, Bishop G4, castles, Knight D4. Okay, so we have two pieces on the F3 knight, but it's also still defended though by the bishop and the queen. Let's see here. You have H3, And right here, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys pause the video and see if you can come up with a good move here for black. What's the best move here for black? Okay, I hope you guys found the best solution here for black. It would be knight captures knight, which would be check. The bishop captures back, but as you can see, that leaves the pawn here unprotected. And so bishop captures pawn. So black here just won a pawn because the white bishop was overloaded here. A better move, instead of playing h3 here, would probably be c3, kicking the knight or putting the question to the knight. But instead, h3 just allows the bishop to be overloaded. So that's a good example there. Let's go ahead and check out another one. Okay, guys, let's take a look at the third example here. This time we'll look at it from the white side, and let's see. e4, c5, knight f3, d6, and you have bishop b5. Now this is what's known as the Moscow variation. It's like the brother of the Rossolimo variation, where white plays bishop b5 after the knight's already on c6 there. But this is called the Moscow variation. Sometimes it's called the canal variation. And this line is kind of played with the intention to avoid like big theory. You know, is to take the black player out of like their well-known Najdorf, theory, or their well-known dragon theory, or their Taimanov, or their Taimanov theory, things like that. Things that's well known, where black can be booked up for like 30 plus lines. Well, to get their players or their opponents out of that big book, they'll play bishop b5. And in fact, Gary Kasparov actually played this line here back in 1999, where he played a game against the world. So this is like to avoid big theory. Black plays knight d7. You have d4 here. Knight f6. Bishop captures. Knight captures. Knight c3. e6. And you have bishop g5 here hitting the queen. The queen flees here to c7. Castles. C takes d. Knight captures here. Everything here doesn't look too bad for either side. As you can see, white does have more space here. They have a little bit more development as well. And then you have a pawn move here, h6. Now go ahead and pause the video here. Think about what white would play after this move, h6 here. This is a critical point in this game. And let me know, how you think white would proceed after this move. Okay, I hope you found the best solution here for white. After a move like h6, black has to be punished for making, another frivolous pawn move here. And the best move to play for white would be knight captures e6, and this is hitting the queen here. It's hitting the bishop there on f8, and it's sacking the bishop here to basically open up black's king side, because black is uncastled. His king is in the middle of the board there, and he's making frivolous pawn moves. The h6 move was just not a very good move at all. So white says, okay, I'll bust open your position here by sacking my knight, right? Black captures the knight, and then that, leaves himself open to queen h5, check. And g6 is the only move to block that, and then you have queen captures g6, checkmate. So this is just went really bad for black because he started pushing frivolous pawns on his king side, and he should have actually developed and got castled. It's all about king safety and following good fundamentals and good opening principles. So that was a good example. Let's go ahead and look at one more. Okay, so for this fourth opening trap here, we have white playing e4, black plays c5, Sicilian defense, knight f3, and then we have d6. So we have c3 here, which is a delayed Alapin defense or variation, where white supports the d4 pawn push with c3. That way he can still maintain, a presence in the center of the board. If white would have played c3 on move number 2, that would be like your standard or traditional Alapin defense. We have knight c6 here, d4, bishop g4. So white is pushing in the center here. You have knight e5 here. So you have two attackers on the white knight on f3. You have the knight there and the bishop both attacking that piece there. Go ahead and pause the video here. Take a look and tell me what is the best move for white in this position here. Okay, I hope you guys found the best move here in this position, and it is knight captures knight. And as you see, that does expose white to white's queen to be captured here, and black does indeed capture the queen. But then that's followed up with bishop b5 check, and so black here is forced to basically give back his queen. Queen d7, bishop captures there, check, and now white is going to clean up basically and just gain a lot more material. You have the knight, captures f7 check, king takes the bishop, but then that leaves white with the ability to capture the knight there on h8. So white is just, and also on top of that, the bishop on d1 is also hanging. So white would capture the bishop first because the rook there on h8 is not going anywhere. It's trapped. So even if black played g6 here, white would just capture the rook and beat up material at the end. So, black just kind of failed. If we go back here to the critical point in the game, where was the pin? So right here, black just failed to understand that this pin was not a absolute pin. The knight is free to capture and move away. It's not a absolute pin. It's a relative pin. And then on top of that, also, if you look at black's pieces there on the back rank, he's severely underdeveloped. He didn't develop any pieces at all. They're just all still sleeping. So that was pretty bad opening play from black. So, well, guys, I hope you enjoyed, the traps and zaps, from today's Sicilian repertoire. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Help me help the channel grow. And guys, I hope you all enjoyed today, and I'll see you next time.